Hello.
It works. I was
Hi.
having so much anxiety. I'm like, this is not going to work.
Oh
How
no,
are
I'm
you?
sorry. Okay, we're here.
No, I'm so excited.
We're in
So I was
action.
telling everyone, like,
Hey
one,
guys.
thank you for doing this. So I told everyone leave their comments for you because we're going to do my questions first and then theirs. So I got to give everyone the background. So we were talking about this classroom series I'm doing, and I pitched doing a class on relationships because you're so open about relationships, heartbreak, and the strength is amazing. So you came up with a different class, and I want you to tell them why you picked that class and why you were inspired by it.
Great. Okay, so I thought that it was the perfect opportunity to have a discussion about the negative emotions that we are kind of all, or at least a lot of us, are dealing with right now during the quarantine. I know that I have felt, the different waves of like feeling really good during quarantine, feeling really motivated, also feeling really sad, really depressed, and just having conversations with a lot of my friends and seeing that it's kind of a collective thought,
Yeah.
it's something that we're all feeling, and having the discussion I think is really important. So I thought that it would be cool to open up the discussion to the fans and let people, ask how they, or like, kind of comment on how they're dealing with it. Let's just have a discussion on like
Yeah.
what the best ways to get through it is, because it's really confusing and weird, right?
Yeah, and I think people are afraid to admit it. But look, we're all literally locked in our apartments and our houses. We're by ourselves, and we're kind of forced to deal with our thoughts that we are running away from.
Yeah.
I feel like God put us on timeout and was like, figure out your life because you weren't trying to figure it out
Honestly.
before.
Which
So
is so crazy because for me personally, I find that um, the way that I typically deal with emotions in general is I just stay really busy. Like if I'm like heartbroken, or if I'm like sad, or I'm upset, or I'm just not feeling good about myself, I just kind of put that to the side and like fill up my schedule with a bunch of stuff. Like I'll just go into the studio and work, or I'll travel, or I'll do all this stuff, which can be like a great coping mechanism for
yeah.
sure. But at the same time, I do think it's really beneficial to learn how to just sit and deal with your emotions.
So
Like I have to.
yeah. So what, I mean,
Nothing else to do.
outside of quarantine, like what was that moment where maybe it was a really, really bad moment? Because you said it's like a roller coaster. One day we're happy and motivated. The next day we're like crying and like don't want to do anything but binge watch Netflix and not talk to anyone. So we're all like bipolar. So what was the moment that you had that one caused you to have negative emotions? What were those negative emotions that you were having about yourself?
Well, I think the one thing that really kind of sent me there was the first day that it rained in LA. So it was like really gloomy and it was really dark. And that was the first day I just like didn't want to get out of bed, and I just like felt like crying all day. Like I was just feeling really sad and really down.
Yeah.
And I've also realized that maybe it's not even something that I'm going through right now. It's like there's so much happening in the world, like all of the news and everybody talking about what's going to happen, and like we never know when it's going to end, which is also really anxiety inducing. But just like hearing all this stuff, like you think you're okay, but eventually it kind of all hits you and you're like, this is wild, this is crazy, and I just feel all of this emotion and I don't really know what to deal with it. So like the first probably biggest emotion that I felt is just like apathy, like lack of motivation, uninspired. And I think that for me kind of stems from not knowing when it's going to be over. So it's hard to make goals. It's hard to make goals when you don't know what you're really working towards, or when you're able to do these things. Like I wanted to go on tour, so now it's like I don't know when. I can't really plan for that. It's hard to plan for the future, and I'm very motivated, me personally, by what's going to happen, or like my future plans.
So then what did you do to like motivate yourself to overcome apathy? And okay, even though I can't go on tour and work on music, what did you do instead to make like a collateral of that for the meantime?
Well, for me, the best thing to deal with that emotion, because apathy is almost like the worst. Like, it's pretty much as low as I can go. Uninspired, unenthused, just don't feel like anything is really worth anything. And so for me to get out of that, it's just to focus on what makes me happy in my day to day. So that once you're happy with, you're just in a good mood, or you're feeling good, or your energy is in a good place,
Yeah.
I feel like then the inspiration comes, and then the productivity comes, and then all of those things come really naturally. So to try to force yourself to like skip steps, like, okay, I'm going to be really productive during quarantine, or like, I'm going to get all this stuff done, or I'm going to have all this growth and self-realization, like those things will happen. But the first thing that you have to do is just feel good about yourself, or be in a good state of mind that day.
Exactly. You were talking about how you got to surround yourself with things that make you happy. So what are some of those things and those people that have been able to like uplift you during quarantine? Even if you can't see them, maybe people that you could FaceTime or talk to.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously talking to my family has really helped. But for me, especially for people that maybe like aren't quarantined with family or are alone and are dealing with like that kind of stuff, I've found that there's like a few key things that just make me feel kind of good throughout the day. So one is just being in the sun, or like getting outside, even if it's like in your backyard or your front yard or anything, just feeling like you're not stuck or like in jail. Makes a big difference. And I kind of feel like humans are like, we're like houseplants. Like, we need like sun and water.
Me too. I'm so bad with getting sunlight. I'm like, okay,
air.
I've been inside for like 3 days. Like,
yeah. But it really lifts your mood, you know, like just for a second. It doesn't even have to be very long, but just try to get outside, get in the sun. For me, it's the number one thing I think that helps me bring me out of like negative thought patterns is to switch up my routine. So if I'm just like stuck in a like funk, or I'm feeling a certain way and I can't really get out of that, it's important to kind of just move on, like move on to the next activity, or move on to the next thought pattern, you know, whatever it is. You can't just get stuck in these ruts.
Yeah. Do you have like a routine as far as maybe you write down your goals in a notebook, in a planner, on your phone, in your notes? What is your day-to-day for like planning what you're doing?
So I make 3 lists.
Okay.
One is a list of things that I really like to do that makes me like happy throughout the day. Like, okay, I wrote down a couple of things, like read, exercise, play video games, learn a new recipe, you know, just like like little things like that I just think are like fun or just make me happy. Go work out.
Next list. Okay, so you gotta tell us a book you're reading, what video game you're playing, because I think a lot of people don't know you're actually like, you're a great gamer. I've been learning so much about gaming and my mind is blown, where I'm like, okay, this is the thing. So what book are you reading and what game are you playing right now when you're not in
the Okay, my favorite book is this book. I'll show you guys. It's called Letting Go. Oops. The Pathway of Surrender. And for me, this book is just always good to reference when I feel any particular type of emotion. I actually got this book from a fan, which makes it even more special to me, because I feel like it was like bestowed upon me. And like, for example, if I'm feeling depressed, like I'll just flip to the depression chapter and I like have some highlighted chapters. And it'll say things like this, like all of like what I highlighted on this page is, all of these emotional stages can be worked through much more rapidly by the process of letting go, in which the inevitability of the emotion of grief is surrendered to and replaced by a willingness to let go of resistance and let the process pass through and complete itself.
Love it.
So I think that's really important for an example, because like if I'm feeling really sad, you can look at it, identify that emotion, be like, I'm sad today. Allow yourself to be sad today. And then you move through it. You know, you pass through it. You can't try to block it. You can't try to be like, I'm not going to be sad, because it just makes it so much worse. So this book,
okay.
Let's see what game. I'm playing a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Warzone.
You gotta tell people where they can play with you too.
Yes. Okay, so my PSN, or My gamer tag is Nasty Nashe with 2 Y's. So you guys can find me on there. We can squat up. Super fun. And then what else did you say?
What was the third thing you said on the list? You said read, gaming, and then there was a third one.
I said cooking.
Cooking. Okay, so what? I mean, you used to always do Taco Tuesday a lot before we
Yeah.
out with the tacos. What's a new recipe that you learned now and it became like one of your favorite go-tos during quarantine?
Yeah, I've been trying new recipes. I think that's, for me, okay, this is what I've been challenging myself to do. Just try to make something with like what's in the fridge, but like make it like elite, not just like we're making snack food, but like, okay, these are all of the items. I'm going to make an entire meal with this and kind of loosely follow recipes. So I felt kind of more creative as a cook, which is fun. Cause yeah, I'm like, I'm going to make this and like kind of follow the structure. So I kind of felt more loose with it, which is good. Okay, so that's my first list is things that like I like to do. And then my second list is things that I would love to do, like, but I haven't yet. So I look at it like things that I want to either accomplish or learn how to do, like on my wish list. Like if I could be the most well-rounded, amazing version of myself, what are all these things that I want to do? And that can be anything from, for me on my list is stuff like write a novel, write a TV show, learn Spanish, learn French, learn pottery. That's something I just saw Seth Rogen was doing. So I was like, I want to get into pottery.
You are doing paintings. I mean, you do paint, so you're very creative in that. So, and I know that I did see that you are selling your paintings to help. You were doing it for something. I know what it was.
Yeah, for meals. We're getting meals for families right now for COVID, which is great.
That's an amazing list. So that's a 3 list of that.
Painting is like on the list of things that like I already do. That makes me happy though. So that's like on list 1. But yes, painting is great. So list 1. So then list 2 is like all the things I want to do that I haven't yet. My like to-do list as a human being. And then list 3 is all the things that like I should do, like chores or like tasks, like clean out my closet, organize my refrigerator, make a photo album, stuff like that. So what I'll do during my day when I'm feeling like bored or apathetic or uninspired, I don't know what to do, or like I said, I want to switch up kind of my pattern of behavior or thought, I just kind of go through the list. I start with list 1, then list 2, and then list 3, and just kind of go through the list like, are any of these interesting to me right now? Do I want to do any of these things? And you got to find at least one thing you want to do, or you should do, or you want to get into, and that kind of keeps me always, like I'll never run out of shit to do. I'll never be like I'm so bored. Like bored is terrible. Don't be bored.
Yeah, there's always something to do. Okay, so we have the 3 lists, so that's how you got over with that. So you said apathy was the first emotion, and you had 2 other emotions that really got to you. So I think the second one, was it depression was the second one? Okay.
Well, that's kind of similar to apathy in a sense, like just sadness, like just don't want to do anything, lack of motivation. So I'd say, okay, what's probably the third thing that I felt? I felt a lot of like grief, like loss in a sense of like my plans, like things I wanted to do, and kind of just feeling really sad and really bummed that it's not going to pan out the way I thought it was. So that could be like, for me, it was I was going to go on tour, and I had like this whole tour planned out, and I was like, just did this album, which I was so excited about. And then,
amazing album.
Thank you.
Had a bunch of sold out dates too for the tour, so it'll happen again. And I think
it will, but it's still like so disappointing when you had these plans and now it seems like, you're bummed out. And that's like so many people I felt have gone through that in a way. Like my friend was going to get married, like she can't get married anymore.
Oh, I was thinking about that. Like, how does that even work now?
Or like kids who are going to graduate that don't get just stuff that we had big hopes for, that we are now kind of grieving the loss of. So that's been kind of interesting to deal with for me.
What advice do you have for people who just can't get out of the funk and can't even motivate themselves to do the things that you even suggested?
Okay, yeah. If you're even at the level below of actually getting up and doing activities and you just like can't think in any type of positive way, I see that my best way to change the dialogue in my head is to hear positive dialogue around me. So yeah, even if it's like you don't have people around you necessarily who are really positive, you can, like when I wake up in the morning, I'll turn on a podcast that's just talking, you know, really positively or motivationally, and just kind of start my day with positive thoughts. Like maybe I can't form those thoughts myself, but someone else can, and just hearing it kind of motivates me, or like subconsciously makes me feel better. What else do I do? Like listen to really happy music. I think a lot of my content has changed to be just even more cheerful. Like what I would usually watch on TV, like I usually watch like murder shows. Yeah, like,
murder.
That's what I usually watch, but I've found myself watching a lot of like stand-up comedy and like children's programming, cartoons, stuff that just makes me feel happy and light. And so what I watch, what I listen to like I've been listening to like 60s music. I've been listening to retro, like stuff that just makes you feel good when you put it on. Makes you want to dance. So for me, that really helps when I can't form my own way out to hear it and like surround myself with that kind of vibe and force myself to kind of be in that mind state.
I love that. And
so that's one of the things that I do.
And I know you're probably in the studio making more happy music for everyone for when we do get out of quarantine and we can listen to it now while we're doing it.
Oh yeah, I've been making lots of happy songs.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good. I think this will all blow over hopefully by the summer. You should just do a tour on like Instagram Live or Zoom or something and concert instead and bring the tour to that. So before we go, I want to open up the floor for fan questions. So there's some at the bottom. I can see it. I just get sketched out when I click them in case it freezes. So if you guys have questions you want to ask her, leave them in the chat, but I'm going to click some of them. So let's see. Okay. Keanu Gallon, how do we fight the reptiles? To be everywhere.
Oh my gosh. How do we fight the reptiles? We have such amazing positive energy that, you know, we just bring the vibration of the planet and the universe into like an undeniably happy place. That's the other thing for me that I think is kind of important. Like during all of this, that we as the people who are very privileged, like we have a lot of privilege right now. Like we have a place to live, we have food, you know, all of these amazing, beautiful things. We're so blessed. So I think it's important for anybody actually to spread as much positivity and happiness and joy and light as possible, because it has an effect on the entire planet, and it's like we need it more than ever, you know. We need to just bring the entire planet into this new level of just awakening and like happiness, and not like this place where everyone's just like sad and depressed and tired and all the things.
Yeah, so don't fight the reptiles.
Yeah.
Do that. Okay, let me see if it's slides. How do I pick? Okay. Okay, JXMDEL asks, what's your favorite Disney princess?
Ooh, my favorite Disney princess? Probably Pocahontas.
Pocahontas? Okay.
I like Pocahontas.
Pocahontas. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's actually a lot. Hold on, it froze. Okay, I
Let's
like
see the
this one.
questions, guys.
I love this one. Do you feel a lot of pressure to act in these times as a celebrity? What's the impact on you?
Yes and no. I feel like there's no pressure in the sense that like there's like less pressure to do anything or like to be productive. Like people really aren't really expecting much because I think everybody is kind of, or not everybody, I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of people are feeling not productive and like just trying to focus on their mental health and things like that. So I don't think people are really expecting like when's the next music video dropping, you know, things like that. So in that sense, there's less pressure. But for me as a human being, I feel like I have a responsibility. I wouldn't say pressure, but just like a responsibility as somebody with a platform, like I said, to just kind of like spread as much happiness and like content as possible. Like keep people locked in on good stuff and focused on good stuff. So probably that.
These are really good questions. Okay, there's a lot more. Let's see. You know, for you answered that one. Okay. Okay. What's the best way for a guy to get a date with Tinashe? Asking for a friend.
For a friend. Okay, the best way is to just be yourself and like be cool and laid back, because if you're just somebody that I'd want to kick it with, then we'll have a good vibe, and that's like really the only way. I don't know how else to say it. Like there's nothing you could say or do.
Nothing to slide in the DMs with.
No, there's nothing you can say or do. We just have to have a connection and a good vibe, and you can't force that. So be yourself. Pull up, being yourself.
Let's see. Oh, I like this one. Milk a what? How can I overcome my obsession on anything? It's getting harder these days. I try to be positive, but sometimes it cut off. Sometimes it's hard.
That makes sense. Okay, so especially because we don't really have much to distract ourselves with, we can definitely become really obsessed with different thoughts or feelings, or it's easy to obsess and to get into like a hole and do something all day. And I think that there's two things to keep in mind. I think one is easier said than done, so I'll say this one first, but it's to find moderation. And that's like with anything, it's just to keep an awareness of like how long you're thinking about something, how long you've been sitting on scrolling on your phone, how long have you been playing this video game, how long have you been sleeping. I think it's easy to do stuff for like 12 hours or like 16 hours or like all day, all night, or stay up all night, because we're not kind of keeping the same routines that we used to, or like eat way too much, or like smoke way too much, drink way too much, sleep way too much. So I think it's important to find moderation in everything that you do. So just keep it moving. And that's the same with your thought patterns. So if you're thinking something, even for me, especially when I'm having a bad day, maybe sometimes I'm really sad, I'll let myself have a pity party for like one day. I'll be like, today is my sad day. I'm sad today. I'll just be sad today, but tomorrow I'll be better, you know?
And it's all okay.
And it's all good.
Let's see. Tinashe Diary. What do you suggest us to do right now after the live?
After the live, okay, I suggest you write down your list of things. Make your 3 lists, because that's such a great starting point, just to keep you accountable for how you're spending your time and what you're doing throughout the day. So that would be my top things to do. Also, I have one more suggestion of just something to keep in mind and how to be happy. And that's to kind of form a catchphrase for yourself, or several catchphrases that are just really positive and that you kind of always say. Like I, for example, have like a couple friends who like definitely have a catchphrase. Like I know it, like my friend Josh, for example, always says, I am blessed and highly favored. Like all day, like any day, like no matter what happens, like we'll be like, oh my God, Josh, what are we gonna do? I can't figure this out. There's so much traffic. I can't get here. He'll be like, I'm blessed and highly favored. Like will work itself out. And I think it's important to kind of always have those things that you say verbally out loud, because the more and more that you say it, the more it becomes your thoughts, and it becomes just who you are, and it just gets ingrained into like, oh, that's her catchphrase, you know, like, and that can be anything. Yeah, like for me, I mean, I have to probably work on mine. Mine could be better, but mine is like, everything always works out for me, you know, like it always does. Ever since I was really young, everything that I want, I can get, you know, different things like that. Or like, I'm so lucky, I'm so blessed, I'm so grateful. Just having those things, practicing gratitude, just saying these little catchphrases, I think is like so key. And you just say it all day, and then all of a sudden you are so grateful and you are so blessed. And, you know, the other thing that Josh always says is money comes easily and frequently. So like, just always says it.
I need Josh to write a book.
Josh has great catchphrases. He
Josh,
really does.
Here, make a catchphrase book, please, so we can read more about it. Next one, Alex Percoraro. What's your favorite dance on your album?
Ooh, that's hard. I haven't finished all of them yet, to be honest. So I might have a new one, a new favorite in the future. But I'm gonna say Save Room for Us is probably my favorite. That one's real cute.
So let's do, you want to do what, 2 more? There's so many.
Sure, yeah, let's do like 2 more.
Let's see. Let's see. Are you, oh, this one's kind of cool. So, Captain Corbin, are you going to host a virtual Taco Tuesday during quarantine?
I was thinking of doing one on Cinco de Mayo. I thought that would be kind of fun.
You should.
Right?
What are your favorite tacos? You make all different tacos, and they're all really good, but which one, like if you could only make one taco for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Oh, probably just the classic beef, you know, just ground beef taco.
Ground beef taco.
Yeah.
I like, okay, I'm going to pick one last one. Let's see. I like this one. Okay. Last one. Do you have a full morning routine?
I try to stick to it. I try not to just sit on my phone for like the first hour when I wake up. I find myself doing that a lot, which is not good, and I want to change that. But yeah, for me, it's typically just I come out to my living room, turn on some music, usually like some jazz, something that just like has a lot of energy. I make myself some tea. I shower, do my skincare routine. I water my plants. I water my cat. And and then I switch it up. I don't do the same thing every day, which I think is both. I think it's important to keep routine, but I also think it's important to switch it up because it can get monotonous.
Yes, agreed. So, no, thank you so much. I'm sorry that we couldn't get to all the questions. All the questions were great. I saw someone earlier asking if I'll save the live or we can keep it. So I'll definitely keep it on my feed. It'll be on YouTube, and I'll send you any snippets that you like. I think everyone learned a lot from it. I love how positive you are. No one would ever guess until they really heard your music, because you mask it so well. And I think that it's amazing that you use your platform to really open that up to people to inspire them.
Yeah,
so thank you for class of dealing with negative emotions during quarantine, and I hope everyone makes your 3 lists. Right.
Yes. Thank you for having me. Keep it up.
Thank you. We'll talk. All right.
Bye, guys.